Have you ever noticed how busy your mind is from the moment you wake up, right until you finally fall asleep? Thoughts leap from the past to the future, reacting to sounds, sights, even random memories. You're rarely just present. It's no wonder we sometimes feel scattered or out of touch with what really matters. Today, I'd like to share some beautiful teachings from the late Venerable Āmatha Gavesi about something truly powerful, Samadhi, or the concentrated mind. His discourse, Samadhi in the Development of the Path, isn't just about meditation. It's about changing the very way we see, experience, and live this life. Let's start with something Venerable Gavesi points out right away. Our normal mind is a little like sunlight scattering in every direction. Sunlight shows up everywhere, but unless you focus it, maybe with a magnifying glass, it can't start fire. The same goes for our mental energy. When we gather our attention onto a single point, we discover a deep strength and clarity within. But when our minds jump constantly from one thing to another, all we ever see are surfaces. We start to believe things are solid, permanent, or always fulfilling just because they seem that way. If you pause and look deeply, though, isn't everything always changing? Science confirms what the Buddha taught. Nothing, no feeling, nothing, even our thoughts, last forever. We often don't notice this because our attention's constantly being pulled elsewhere. Without learning how to focus our minds, we end up a little lost, living at the surface, missing the deeper truths, and missing the freedom that comes with seeing clearly. Before we jump into deep concentration, Venerable Gavesi gently reminds us to set the ground. Imagine a gardener clearing out weeds before sowing seeds. For us, there are two main weeds to watch for: being overly attached to our body and holding on to ill will or resentment. First, it's wise to reflect on the true nature of the body, not to disgust ourselves or to judge, but to see clearly. If we're too fixated on appearances or bodily sensations, our minds can't settle. By remembering how changeable the body is, we make space for a more peaceful, focused mind. Second, there's the practice of loving kindness. If we're carrying a lot of anger or irritation, that agitation keeps our attention jumpy and unsettled. Just spending 20 minutes or so each day sending goodwill and kind wishes to others can work wonders, creating that steadiness we need for deeper meditation. Venerable Gavesi really emphasizes, don't see these as extra steps. They're the foundation. Without them, it's almost impossible to build stable concentration, just like we can't build a solid house on shifting sand. When the ground is ready, we turn to one of our greatest supports, the breath. Breath meditation is beautifully simple. There's no need for any special tools. You just pick a spot, often the feeling of air moving in and out of your nostrils, and pay gentle attention there. The key? Let the breath be natural. No forcing, no trying to make it deeper or slower than it already is. Simply being present with each inhale and exhale. The goal isn't to create some special experience, but rather to settle right here with what actually is. The challenge? The mind doesn't like being tamed. It's used to wandering and will resist by throwing up old thoughts and urgent distractions. That's completely normal. You haven't failed. This is just the mind's way, shaped over lifetimes of habit. This is where mindfulness becomes our companion. Mindfulness gently notices when we've drifted and, without judgment, brings us back to the breath. It's this steady, patient returning, over and over, that trains us to remain present. Walking meditation, an accessible alternative. Now, sometimes sitting still is just too hard, especially if you're just starting out. For this, Venerable Gavesi suggests walking meditation. But don't imagine a casual stroll. Walking meditation means moving slowly, mindfully, paying full attention to each step and movement. It's a great bridge for restless minds, helping us strengthen our awareness before we settle onto the cushion. By training mindfulness as we walk, we make it much easier to rest in stillness later on. From scattered to focused, the power of concentration. When we keep coming back, breath by breath, something starts to shift. All the scattered mental energy slowly gathers itself, becoming unified and powerful, like a river carving stone. This kind of concentration isn't just relaxing, though that's nice. It's a true mental tool, one that can pierce through the illusions that usually keep us lost. Venerable Āmatha describes 4 absorptions, or deep states of focused attention. The first feels like sustained calm. Thoughts finally quiet down. In the second, Even the efforting drops away, and peace becomes more natural. The third brings deep happiness, and the fourth rests in equanimity and clarity. But these states aren't the point on their own. They're tools like sharpening a knife, helping us see things as they really are, not as we wish them to be. What is all this training for ultimately? The concentrated mind goes beyond feeling peaceful. It lets us actually see things our usual mind can't. A truth that's always here, even if we miss it. With enough steady attention, we witness the constant arising and passing away of everything. Body sensations, thoughts, experiences, all in a state of flow. What once seemed solid and lasting reveals itself as a dance of change, moment by moment. Even the feeling of a permanent me starts to dissolve as we watch the endless stream of experience. This isn't something to theorize about. With Samadhi, we actually see it. The mind, sharpened like a microscope, reveals the truth of impermanence, right here and now. Liberation through understanding. When concentration and wisdom deepen, these insights transform us. The Buddhist tradition calls the first breakthrough stream entry. This is that moment when we see, beyond all doubt, that we can't find lasting satisfaction in an impermanent world. The idea of a permanent, solid self finally lets go. Venerable Āmatha explains, this isn't ordinary reflection or thinking. It takes a mind trained to high clarity and focus. But when the insight comes, it feels obvious, unshakable, and it changes everything. The concentrated mind lets us see that all suffering comes from craving permanence where there is none, and searching for self in an ever-changing flow. Thankfully, seeing this doesn't bring sadness, but relief, a gentle, liberating clarity. You might wonder, does this take hours every day? Venerable Gavesi says, not at all. Once the mind is trained, just 5 or 10 minutes in the morning may be enough to reach deep concentration. The key is consistency. Keep coming back, day after day, and your mind learns to shift in and out of focus as needed. This isn't about escaping life or becoming someone new. It's about having the clear, steady mind to meet whatever comes, responding with wisdom and peace, rather than scattering our energy in agitation. Like any new skill, this takes patience. We're retraining ancient habits. Our minds will resist at first, wanting to return to familiar ways. But gently, over time, even the busiest, most restless mind can discover deep concentration and clarity. Let's zoom out for a moment. In the Buddhist tradition, Samadhi isn't just about feeling better or reducing stress, though it helps with both. It's about preparing the mind for the ultimate spiritual goal, true freedom from suffering. Samadhi supports the whole path. Without it, ethics feel dry, wisdom stays just an idea, and real liberation remains out of reach. With Samadhi as a base, though, every other practice deepens. And what's more, we're not seeking magic or mystical experiences, just direct, unclouded understanding. Venerable Gavesi closes with something encouraging. The promise is this: anyone, truly anyone, can develop Samadhi. It doesn't matter who you are or where you start. The capacity for deep clarity and peace is in all of us. But of course, the choice is ours. We can let our minds scatter, endlessly chasing satisfaction, or we can begin, gently and patiently, to train our attention, taste true clarity, and step beyond illusion. This path has been walked by countless people for thousands of years. The teachings are tested, clear, and simple. All that's needed is the willingness to start, to sit quietly with your breath, and train the mind to pay attention. In this, there lies the real transformation. Not turning into something different, but becoming who we truly are when confusion settles and clarity dawns. May we all develop this Samadhi. May we all see clearly. And may we find the true peace that comes from understanding reality as it is.